So we're going to go down to number 4. Does it go down or go up?
I don't know.
Hi, welcome back to the Nerd Shelves. I'm Judy.
And I'm Michael.
We are so excited to come back with our clipboards. We are going to talk about top 5 games that are new to us in 2022.
Yay!
So they could be base game, they could be expansions.
Mm-hmm. As long as they're new to us, we played it for the first time in 2022, it made this list.
Yes.
Well, maybe if it's our top 5.
Maybe. Let's check it out.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Number 5.
Okay, number 5 is gonna knock your socks off
Okay.
because you won't. I don't think you will expect this to be my number 5. I never win this game, I don't think, but I like it. I think it's very cool. Okay, so number 5.
Yes.
This game is from Thunderworks Games. It's Cartographer's Heroes. This game, right? That's that's expected reaction.
Cool.
Okay, so this game is published 2021, and it was designed by Jordi Aiden and John Brazier. I tried to pronounce your name. I'm sorry if I pronounce it wrong.
Yeah.
It's a flip and write game, and you get to draw on the pad, and there are some monsters. So you gotta be careful with
Yeah,
that.
but there's the reason why it's Heroes is because there's Heroes too, which can defeat the monsters.
Yes, and
Yeah.
that is so
Yeah,
cool. I like it. I really enjoy when we play it. I'm surprised we didn't play it often. There's just so many games with
It's
little
true.
time.
Yeah.
But every time I play it, I always enjoy it. And our kids love it too.
That's the key. No,
Yeah.
fair enough. Our kids love it because when you're drawing on your map, you're drawing the different landscapes
Yes.
depending on which one you choose.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you can either just draw it quickly just to play the game, or like our family likes to do, you can really spend some time making trees
Details.
and waves for the water and make it
Yeah.
look really pretty. And that, yeah, it's great. It's great.
Until the monsters come out and kill you.
It's
And
true.
then it's just yucky.
But this is different than the original Cartographers because Heroes has heroes in it.
Yes.
And they it makes it a little
There's
bit
some
more
special
interesting.
in there. Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. Oh, good one.
That's
Great
my
one.
number 5.
Okay.
What's yours?
My number 5, I know it's not on your list because you've never played it.
Okay.
My number 5 is called Chancellorsville 1863. It was published in 2020. It was designed by Maurice Suckling and published by Old School War Games. I was lucky enough to actually just play this last week for the first time. So it just made it into the 2022.
From our friend.
From one of my friends. It's,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
their game. And it's basically a 2-player American Civil War era game. And one plays the Blues, one plays the Reds, and the thing I really liked about it was I'd never played it before, so I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah.
But the game made me feel like my strategy had to be the real strategy that happened in the real Civil War.
Yeah.
It was the mechanics were simple enough that it was really easy to pick up, but it made it very realistic. So basically, I was the Confederates, and the actual way it happened for real was that the Confederates were kind of bogged in,
Yeah.
and then at one moment in time they actually had to make a go for it and go around the Union and cut them off around and then flank them. And the strategy, the way the mechanics work, because it's a little bit asymmetrical, it actually made me feel like that's what I had to do to win the game.
Wow.
And it was easy. The mechanics were simple enough. The rules were simple enough, but there was still strategy. It was just a really fun, fantastic 2-player war game.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I have a feeling we're going to have very different games on our list just because the way we like games are very different.
Yeah, I know, because as I'm explaining it, I'm thinking
I have no idea.
you would know. I don't know. Think you would enjoy
I'm not
this
a
game.
war game girl.
No.
I'm not.
No,
So-
and you know what? But I'm not really either. I mean, I don't mind war games, but this was different. I really enjoyed it.
That's
I really
good.
enjoyed it. Yeah, so that was my number 5.
So we're going to go down to number 4. My number 4 is published by Pandasaurus Games. This one is fairly new. is The Wolves.
Ooh.
This one is published this year, 2022.
Yep, it's a 2022 game.
Yeah, it's designed by Ashwin Kamath, Clarence Simpson. Okay, the art is so pretty.
Yeah, it's
No
beautiful
doubt,
on the
no
table.
doubt, no
Yeah.
doubt. Basically, this game you're trying to build your pack,
Your
and
wolf
you
pack,
want
yeah.
to dominate the territories, and you have to think because where you're going to do the action, you have to flip the double-sided terrain, so it's not as easy.
It's such a cool mechanic. Yeah.
Yes, and I love how, because you know when games has so many things going on, it could be overwhelming.
Yeah.
But this game they have notes and player aid, and on the player board they give you a lot
Very
of notes.
clear.
It's
Totally very clear. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so overwhelming rules for me, this game is very easy to understand.
Yep.
And even I can read a rule book. I think it's really perfect for me.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
Personal opinion. This is my number 4. I like it very
Yeah,
much.
it's a great, and I love that what you just said about flipping your terrain tiles over.
Mm-hmm.
And what that means is you have different terrain on either side of all of your tiles, and you have to flip them over in order to move to certain areas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But sometimes you have to think a couple of turns ahead.
Yes.
Because you want certain terrain tiles flipped over, but they're not
So
flipped
it's
over yet.
available for you, yeah.
So you have to flip it over in previous turns. Exactly. So
Yeah.
it's available later.
Yeah. It's just
Very
so
cool.
sweet. If you haven't
Very
played,
cool.
you gotta check it out. It is so fun. I highly recommend it.
I highly recommend it too. It's a great game.
Yeah, that's my number 4.
Number
What
4.
is your number 4?
My number 4 is published by Pandasaurus Games,
The Wolves?
designed by Ashwin Kamath and Clarence Simpson. The Wolves! Yes, that's my number 4.
It is so good.
Yeah, it's really
It is so good.
Now, take this with a grain of salt. I don't really mean the game feels like it, but it has a little bit of a scythe element in it in your personal player boards where when you are upgrading your dens and your lairs, well, especially your dens, when you're upgrading your dens, you're actually making other actions more powerful. You're
Yeah.
upgrading other actions
Yes.
when you're removing your dens.
Yes,
And
yes.
it's just everything is so thinky. It's you have to think several turns in advance to figure out what you want to do, and it's so puzzly, and I just love it.
So cool. And for 2 players, they add a AI wolf.
Yes.
So they don't do anything like attack or like dominate you,
Yeah.
but they occupy territories.
Right.
That is so cool.
Because it is definitely wolves on a map. Like
Yes.
it is about taking over territories.
Yeah.
So you need that. Yeah, fantastic.
So I would
game.
say it's very thematic too.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes,
Knock
yes.
that one out of the park.
Number 4. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's funny.
All right, we're gonna go down to number 3. Okay, speaking of thematic games, my number 3 is very thematic. I want to say thematic.
Okay.
This game is published by CGE, and it is Lost Ruins
Games Edition.
of Arnak.
Oh.
Okay, with expansion,
Yes.
which is Expedition Leaders. The base game is published 2020.
Yeah, and we played that in 2020. We've played the base game forever.
And expansion is published 2021. Both games are designed by Elwin and Ming. I think this is so fun. When I say so fun, well, I started with it's very thematic because you are explorer going out like Indiana Jones. I know everyone's saying it's like Indiana Jones. It is to me.
I know that's why I love it.
I know some people might disagree, but it is to me, and that reminds me of my brother very much.
Yeah.
Because my brother Ryan really loved like Indiana Jones and MacGyver, and it's just so fun when you go out and you're exploring, open up new secret area, and then there's
The Guardians that come out. Yeah.
some guardians, and you just have to be brave and try.
Yeah.
You cannot say, okay, I'm not gonna do that, because that's how I lose the first time.
Yeah, you just have to go and do it.
You have to
Yeah.
go, and you get on the temple and get the. You know what? It is so fun.
It's so fun.
Just talking about it now, I want to play.
Yeah, and it's the expansion that we played this year, not
It
the
is
base
so
game.
cool because they add some characters in there. Those leaders, they have some specialty, and they're so cool. They add so much that makes it feel like a different game.
Yes.
it totally feels like
Yes.
different games in a good way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I love that. I think
100%.
that hit a sweet spot.
100%.
Yeah. What about you? That would be my number 3.
Your number 3.
Yes.
Very good. That's a great one. My number 3 is published by Czech Games. It's Lost Ruins of Arnak.
With expansion.
With the expansion. Now, for me, I don't say this often, but the expansion, I mean, the base game was good.
Yeah.
The expansion makes this base game of Lost Ruins of Arnak incredible.
Yes.
I think that the expansion makes the base game so much better. I like the base game. I'm not saying I didn't, but this expansion is what makes it for me.
It's some kind of expansion that you want to have in a collection and play every time.
100%. Because it gives every player, you have your own character. So now you have an asymmetrical player ability and
Yeah.
it changes. You have a different starting deck.
Yeah.
You have different special abilities, which then make your strategy different.
Yes.
It changes the game.
Yes.
I'll tell you, like when you said that this game was thematic, I totally agree with you because when I had a friend come over and play it, he loved it. And the reason why he loved it was exactly what you said. He said the rules, the mechanics disappear in the gameplay because everything is so thematic and it makes sense that the rules just disappear. And he said that to me when we were done, and that was the best way that I couldn't have explained it in a better way. It's so thematic, and the mechanics fit the theme so well that the mechanics disappear.
Yeah.
And
It's like you're
great.
just in the game, you're doing your job, and you have to survive. Yeah. You have to like make the guardian your friend.
Yes.
It's so fun.
Exactly. Great. So we have the same number 3. Uh-oh.
That's crazy.
I'm seeing a pattern.
No, I think the pattern will stop here.
Okay. Okay.
Should we proceed with number 2?
Sure. Number 2.
Number 2. Now, I gotta say this one is a little bit unfair. This
Unfair.
one is published by Flat Out Games. And we are very lucky to play it this year. It's Fit to Print.
It's not even released yet.
No, I'm so sorry, all of you.
So I think that's a 2023 published game. But
Yes, they are working on that, and it will be published next year. So that's also telling you that you got to check it out. You have to check it
So
out.
good.
When we played this game the first time, the theme just catch me already. And then I was thinking, okay, so there's woodland animals and they're just so cute.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, it's very Flat Out Games. It's
Yeah.
very lovely animal. The artwork is amazing. And the game is so fun. I'm talking about fun as like 2 players, new players, or family mode or solo mode. It's all good. So basically, this is a tile laying games about breaking news.
Yeah.
You're in a publishing news company.
Yep, newspaper.
And
yep.
you want to collect news titles, there are different titles, and you have to lay them out, and you have to print them.
Yes.
But to do that, set up as a time.
The time, it's real time.
But you can also do it without, if you're
You can
worried
play
about that.
turn-based, but we never have. We use the timer because that's what makes the game.
Yeah, we like excitement like that.
It's
But
so exciting.
You need to put your titles, lay them out so they're not next to each other, and the color and it just everything makes
You
sense.
have articles and then ads, and then you have like advertisements,
Mm-hmm.
and you have photographs.
Yeah.
And there's different placement rules and how they score, and
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
So this game is designed by Peter McPherson.
Yeah.
Peter is so good.
Yeah,
I think he
great.
has a lot of games published this year, and this is one of the games we play, and I just loved it so much.
Yeah.
And I still love it.
Yeah.
It's coming out next year. You gotta check it out. Fit to Print.
So good. You know what? It's not on my list.
That's okay.
I think it should be on my list, but it's not on my list. I had a really hard time with this one.
There's so many.
I know.
games.
I loved this game so much, and it just
Yeah, we had a playthrough, so check it out if you want to know if you want to buy it next year or not. I'm sure you will. Have a
yeah.
look.
Go check it out.
Check it out.
Okay, so my number 2 is again. This is a game. Actually, this is a game and an expansion, and
Okay.
we played the base game early 2022 for the first time.
Okay.
And then we played the expansion late 2022 for the first time. So both were the same time.
Okay.
And that is Meadow and Downstream, the Downstream expansion. It is... Yeah, so Meadow was published in 2021. Downstream, the expansion, was published in 2022. We played them both this year.
Yeah.
It was designed by Clemens Kalicki and published by Rebel Studio, and we were lucky enough, thank you Rebel Studio, for sending us both the base game and the expansion for review. Fantastic.
Yes.
I, again, like Lost Ruins of Arnak, this expansion made the base game so much better.
So much better.
So much better. I thought the base game was good.
It is so pretty too.
It is. I'm not sure if the base game would have made my list. It would have been close, but I don't know if it would have. With the expansion, it moved it from not in my top 5 for the year to number 2.
Wow.
That's how much I like it.
That is amazing.
Yeah, so that's my number 2.
Gotta go check it out. You haven't tried yet.
Check it out.
Now, drum roll. Number 1. My number 1 is published by Rebel Studios. Is Meadow.
Yay!
With the expansion Meadow Downstream. So yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. It is so pretty and so fun to play. I already love the base game. It would be on my top 5, the base game.
Okay.
Because I love this game very much.
Yep.
I think the art and the gameplay, it was very relaxing. And by the decision making of what role you go to with all the choice and the path you're taking and souvenir you're collecting, it is so fun.
Yeah.
And the expansion just make it so different in a good way. Make it feel like a different game, and you're now going downstream, right? Like going, and you get to choose, you want to go further or short term, and again, you're collecting bonuses on the way. It is so fun. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
This is number 1 for me. Yeah, Meadow and Meadow expansion Downstream.
Definitely.
What is your number 1?
Well, my number 1, and
Wait. I don't think it's a question. I think everyone.
anybody who
joined the
knows
chat,
me knows what my number 1 is.
I know what it is.
So I'm actually a little bit disappointed it didn't even make your list.
And I'll tell you why after you finish.
But my number 1, in fact, not only is it my number 1 here, it might not be. It's really close to my number 1 favorite game of all time.
For your whole life.
At least top 5.
Like you want to sign it on your spouse space.
I don't want to marry it. No. Ark Nova. And I think this is fair for this list because, yes, I played it for the first time in 2022. It was published in 2021. However, it was not released in Canada until 2022. So it is actually a 2022 game in Canada.
For us, yeah.
For us. Okay? But anyways, it was designed by Matthias Wig. I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce that name. And
Sorry.
Published by Vierlandspiel and Capstone Games. And so the first time I ever played it was at Dice Tower West in Las Vegas.
Convention, yeah.
Actually, Mr. Coaster, who has a YouTube channel, you can go check that out. I'll put a link below. But Mr. Coaster 1 actually taught, he brought his own copy to Vegas because we figured all the ones that were out would be being played and taken all the time. So he brought his own copy, and I think he taught the game like 4 times to different people throughout the whole convention. But he taught it to me. And instantly I was hooked. I was just like, this is incredible. It's funny because it gets compared a lot to Terraforming Mars. But I think really the only comparison there is that it has a whole deck of cards that have similar actions and things that go together. Other than that, I don't really think it feels like Terraforming Mars. But it just spoke to me. I don't know. It's
all the cute animals are shouting at your face like me.
Yeah, I guess. But what I loved about it, and this has been done in other games, but it really worked where you can only do 5 actions, but on your board it goes from 1 to 5, and where your action is how powerful it is. So to get better actions, you need higher power, and then as soon as you take that action, the card moves to the end and everything moves up. So you're trying to upgrade your actions by removing other actions. And you have to wait it out sometimes. Sometimes the action you want to do is too low and you can't get the
You need
cards
to
you
plan
want.
the time.
There's a lot going on. It has that end game that's also in games like Rajas of the Ganges, where you have two markers going around the board for different attributes, and when they cross is when the game ends. And I think that's fantastic.
That is very cool.
I just love this game so much. It's long, so it's a little bit harder to get to the table.
And that's why it didn't make my list.
I think so. I think so too. However, I think the more you play it, the faster it gets.
Yeah, because you're already familiarized with that game.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I know it got a lot of hype. I know that. I usually don't fall into, just because something's hyped and I'm going to love it. No, not at all. In fact, it makes me more skeptical when I try games.
Yeah.
If I hear something super hyped, then I think, I don't know if I'm going to like it as much as it's been hyped.
It makes you want to try out more often and see. Yeah.
Yeah, this one, 3 turns into the game, I was like, this game's awesome.
That's
And
cool.
I love it.
I mean, it didn't make my list, but it's because I get to play with those games on my list more often, and it's just easier for me. It's more friendly for me to play. Ark Nova is a little bit, what's the word? Like, you're scared of it. It's scary.
Intimidating.
Intimidating, thank you. When a game that consumes a lot of time is intimidating for me.
Yep,
And
sure.
that's the only reason why it's not on my list.
You know,
But when I play it, I do have a very good time.
sure.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of this hobby.
Yeah.
Is we all don't have to like the same things.
Yeah.
And there are enough games for everybody to enjoy something.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So anyways, that's my number 1, Ark Nova.
Yeah. Being said, what are your 5 games for 2022 that you play the first time
Yeah.
and you really enjoy it?
Yeah.
Put it in the comment for us.
And remember, base game or expansion.
Yeah, add it all, just like ours. Add it and put it in the comment, and let's chat about it.
And what do you think about our picks? Whose
Must be
list
crazy.
do you agree with more? So that is our 2022 favorite games played list. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year!
Yeah, I hope you have had a great holiday, and we honestly, from the bottom of our hearts, wish
Thank
you the happiest, healthiest, warmest wishes for the New Year's.
Yes, and thank you for the support throughout the whole year. This year has been tough, but with Board Game and all you been there in the chat and in the live stream, in our Facebook group, Discord, everywhere we went, we enjoy your company so much,
Yep.
and we appreciate you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And also, thank you for all the publishers sending us games. We are trying our best to get to it, and thank you for your patience. Thank you so much.
Okay, so that was our video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notified when we post new stuff, which we're planning a whole bunch of stuff for the new year.
Yes.
And like this video and comment and do all that good stuff. But most importantly, go ahead and get another game off of your nerd shelves.
Take care.
Bye.